Imagine a single bullet traveling across the world, from a factory, into a gun, and finally into someone's life-changing moment. This is the story of the man who sells those bullets, and the chaos that follows. The movie opens with a powerful sequence showing the life of a bullet being manufactured, packaged, shipped, and eventually loaded into a gun before being fired. This sets the tone for the story. Everything revolves around weapons and their consequences. We are introduced to Yuri Orlov, a Ukrainian immigrant living in New York with his family. He grows up in a modest household, helping his parents run a small restaurant. Yuri lives a quiet life at first, but everything changes when he witnesses a violent shootout outside a restaurant. This moment sparks an idea in him. Yuri realizes that while drugs are risky to sell, guns are always in demand, especially during conflicts. He decides to become an arms dealer. He partners with his younger brother Vitaly, who is more emotional and less stable, but loyal. Yuri starts small, selling weapons to local criminals. He learns quickly and begins to understand the business. He also learns how to avoid law enforcement by being careful and thinking ahead. His confidence grows as his deals become bigger. Yuri meets Ava Fontaine, a model and actress, and becomes obsessed with her. He lies about his life, pretending to be a successful businessman instead of a weapons dealer. He carefully builds a relationship with her, hiding the truth. Meanwhile, Yuri expands his operations internationally. He travels to war-torn regions and unstable countries, selling weapons to whoever can pay. He doesn't take sides, his only concern is profit. This becomes one of his defining traits. Yuri explains that the end of the Cold War created huge opportunities. Massive stockpiles of weapons became available, and he takes advantage of this by acquiring surplus arms from former Soviet states. This allows him to scale his business rapidly. We see Yuri become more successful, gaining wealth and influence. He starts living a luxurious lifestyle, buying expensive items and gaining access to powerful clients. However, his work begins to attract attention. An Interpol agent named Jack Valentine is introduced. He is determined to stop Yuri and follows him across different countries. Jack understands Yuri's business and tries to catch him in illegal activity, but Yuri is always one step ahead. Yuri continues his operations, becoming even more careful. He explains that the biggest arms dealers are often protected by powerful governments, making it easier for him to continue his work. Back at home, Ava starts to notice inconsistencies in Yuri's behavior. She becomes suspicious of his frequent travels and vague explanations. Yuri tries to maintain control of the situation by continuing to lie. Vitaly reaches a breaking point. During a deal in Africa, he refuses to participate any further. He confronts Yuri and tries to stop the deal, showing his growing conscience. In a tragic moment, Vitaly is killed while trying to intervene in a violent situation involving child soldiers. This is a turning point for Yuri. He loses his brother, but instead of quitting, he continues his business. Yuri returns home and tells Ava that Vitaly died, but he hides the full truth about the circumstances. Ava begins to piece together the reality of Yuri's life. Ava eventually discovers that Yuri is an arms dealer. She confronts him, and he admits the truth. She is shocked and upset, realizing that everything she believed about him was a lie. Despite her anger, Ava struggles with what to do next. She has a child with Yuri and is deeply connected to him, making the situation more complicated. Yuri continues working, showing that he is fully committed to his lifestyle. He justifies his actions by claiming that if he doesn't sell weapons, someone else will. Interpol agent Jack Valentine catches Yuri again and finally believes he has enough evidence to put him away. Yuri is arrested once more, and this time it seems more serious. However, Yuri explains that he is useful to powerful governments. Because of this, he is protected and allowed to continue operating. Jack is forced to release him, frustrated and defeated. Yuri returns home, but his personal life is falling apart. Ava decides to leave him, taking their child with her. She cannot accept his lifestyle anymore. The story closes on a reflective note, reminding us of the consequences of the arms trade and the people affected by it. Yuri is left alone, but he does not change. He continues his work as an arms dealer, showing that he has fully embraced who he is. The film ends with Yuri explaining that the world's largest arms dealers are actually governments, and he is just a small part of a much bigger system. This final message reinforces the idea that his actions are part of a larger cycle. If you enjoyed this movie recap, please like and subscribe for more in the future.